lost the country so dearly. What would independence mean to we? We still continue to beg, take grants and favors instead. Forget that we got our will to aspire and to build. From 1974, my people still don't know what independence means, and up till now we still searching. Well, explain the meaning, it's real puzzling. Somebody tell me what independence means to we. We can't build this country if we always borrow money. Somebody tell me what independence means to we. In the dictionary, it means something quite differently. Somebody tell me what independence means to we. Well, we must come together and build Grenada, so we don't see what independence means to we. Aye, it's time to celebrate. We got an independent state, but in reality, it's hard for us to see. We've got an empty treasury and government crying bankruptcy and low productivity don't take over already. Now we got to motivate and educate before it's too late. Appeal to our patriots, we're taking a forward march, and with a freedom song and a sense of patriotism, we gon' make them understand how to build this nation. But explain the meaning, something puzzling. Somebody tell me what independence means to we. We can't build this country if we always borrow money. Somebody tell me what independence means to we. In the dictionary, it means something quite differently. Somebody
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour.
Because your hair still in jeopardy. Poor people daily, I can see hungry. Some working for years and
Yes, saying a special good night to all of you joining us via the Facebook.
no money.
All of you joining us via the YouTube.
And we treasure
We may not be on We Noise Radio tonight.
it always empty. We don't even have an economy.
I have to keep carefully monitoring because the internet keeps dropping off every now and again here.
That is our own. We have to go all about like dogs begging for a loan.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go over the entire list of everybody on the live tonight. Yeah.
Friends, please don't vex with me for dignifying true quality.
But good,
Would make me own flower.
well, good night to each and every one of you. Let me say a special good night to Patricia and Matthew out there in Canada.
Then we independence.
Fat Man George, good night to you.
Import all the damn sugar. Then we independent.
Kathy and Alston Pope, good night.
When we could help out we own brother. Then we independent. And stop all the damn post.
Tilly.
Political war. Then we independent. Ahoy. Ahoy. Ahoy.
Good night to Alan and Michelle Jones, and of course the wonderful Zoe Jones.
Ahoy.
Good night to you, Zayla. Sherma Jeremiah, good night to you. My good friends out there in Happy Hill, they tune in every night out in the fence there. A special good night to you.
Our culture, yeah, it's rather super. Yet that we're not promoting, brother. I must say too, it's under pressure.
Yeah, I hope all of you have been having a wonderful night tonight. Yeah, I know some people had rain, some people...
We radio station made contributor. 99% of the things embellished.
And just this week, we were warning about the fact that the River Road project has not taken place. They've had months. They had January, February, March, April. They said the bridges were here already. It was just a matter of installing the bridges. And up to this point in time, we cannot see bridges installed. We can't see any work taking place. And the existing bridges, the Humpback Bridge, along with the Steels Bridge, due to their height, they act as like a dam. So all of the bamboo and all different things coming down, they block up, they stick up under those bridges along with all the other debris when you have heavy rainfall. And what does it cause? It causes River Road to flood. Simple fix. You have heightened bridges to be placed on both locations. This administration still has not done it. The people of River Road are still in danger because that project, a project which they said all you had to do was basically the abutments and then place the bridges down. Hey, Paul, good night. I know how to call Lodge. Paul, I'll call you. Yeah, Pablo, I'll call you. Right. So the abutments, all they have to do is place those, and when they place those, they could place the bridge. They went as far to tell us that the bridges were already in the country. Yeah? At Carib Spice Fitness, if you know how tired I is in truth, I nearly canceled the program, but I'm here. I nearly canceled the program, but I'm here. Yeah. So that needs to be sorted out. They cannot just simply leave the situation. Good night to you, my dear. I know you can't call, but good night to you. Yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of folks can't call because you know what's going on with this administration, yeah? You know, as soon as you open your mouth, they're trying to find a reason to silence you, you know? But before I go any further, you know, I have something to play here.
For more information.
Yeah. For more information, yeah, that's a nice thing. For We Noise Radio, folks, We Noise Radio has a television service you could have. In case you didn't know, We Noise Radio has that. And let me just give you all a little insight into that program, what they have there. Yeah.
At 929-445-4463. Or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. We Noise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. We Noise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. We Noise TV, the leading streaming provider, anytime.
Yes, indeed, folks. I had to play that one for you because I'll tell you why too. We Noise, without a single cent, without asking for anything, I've broadcasted, whether it was Hard Talk, Talk Your Talk, all of the programs for about over the last 10, 15 years, or they've been broadcasting free of cost for us. We can't leave them behind, yeah? We have to support who does support us. I think I was getting a call. Let me just go to the phone line. Oh boy, for some reason, folks, the internet is giving a bit of problem. I'm trying to see how I can have that sorted out, but for some reason, I am not able to connect to the calls right now. I'm gonna have to reduce the amount of items inside here that's on and see if that can fix it. But it's giving, for some reason, this evening. It usually works properly, but for some reason, it's giving a problem tonight in this area. I'm still trying to connect and it's not connecting, but we'll get there. But before I go back to the phone lines, let me just remind you all, let me bring this up here. Yeah, remember this Sunday is the brunch. Yes, this Sunday is the New National Party brunch. The New National Party New York Support Group, they've got their brunch taking place this Sunday at 302 East 91st Street between Lenox and Clarkson Avenue, and for a small donation of only $30. Music by DJs Jude and Small Clothes. And for more information, you can contact Kathy at 347-262-6818, Wendy at 917-602-1476, and Aisha at 917-520-3164. Remember, that's taking place this Sunday. Sunday coming, yeah? As in the day after tomorrow, after the day after that, right? Yeah. So they're going to be starting from 10 a.m. until you say when. That's the New National Party New York Support Group. They are having that brunch. Come on out in your numbers and support. West Indian food, food like your home. Then remember, next week, Wednesday, yes, the 30th of April, the final day of April in 2025, the New National Party will be having their usual after-work lime. That's going to be taking place at the party headquarters in Tempe from 4 p.m. until. Free entry, and of course, they have food and drinks on sale. They're going to be having different games, and so you could go and try your hand. Right, so that's taking place at the New National Party headquarters in Tempe, the NNP After Work Lime. Hey, and there's a special day. Eh? I'll tell you later. I'll tell you after the day why there's a special day. All right. All I'm going to say is what could you give, right? And after you come out from there, you're looking for a place to go after you come out from the After Work Lime of the New National Party. Remember, at the Bay House in Jan and Clay from 6 p.m., they've got Rastafari and Friends and Project Music and Friends. So you can head on out there. That's International Jazz Day. It's going to be some wonderful music. Head on out there after you come out from my NNP, right? You could go across there and see how things are progressing. Oh, I think I know what's wrong there. I'll get that sorted out now. Right. the St. George Northeast New National Party Women's Group, they've got their sauce sale, chicken and pigfoot sauce. That's starting at 6:30 a.m. next week, Saturday. No, don't rush and go there this Saturday. It's not this Saturday. It's next week, Saturday. I just can't stand watching the sauce and the thing does edge me, boy. Right. It's taking place Saturday, May the 3rd, starting at 6:30 a.m. in front of Nick's shop in Bolio. So once you're in that area, you know where Nick's shop is, or just ask somebody around by Snug Corner, Bolio, they'll tell you where Nick's shop is, and you head on out there and you're getting some wonderful sauce by the New National Party St. George Northeast Women's Arm. A special good night to you, Mr. Nimrod Oliver. Hope everything is okay with you and King Rodney and the wife, man. Yeah, Flavor King Barbecue, along with the St. George Southeast Women's Group, they are having a chicken and fries sale that's taking place next week, Friday, starting from midday at Richmond Hill. A small $15, large $20. So that's taking place next week, Friday, and it starts from midday. That's the St. George Southeast Women's Group, along with Flavor King Barbecue out there in Richmond Hill. Folks, the vacancies are still there. Like, I don't know how to do nails and things. I got a class by here. Some people, yeah, 403-4421. And you could also call there if you want to get your locks do. You want to get your hair done. Yeah, man? Yeah, they're excellent, man. And they're right in town. You go, you drop, you just walk across. You get your hair done and you walk right back there on the terminal and you're good to go. Yes, not even a 5-minute walk to the terminal or from the terminal. And you could go and get your hair done by one of the best. That's where I just go. All right? Yes, the New National Party Women's Arm. Yeah, they have coming up a Cup of Love. That's celebrating mothers. And it's going to be taking place on Sunday, May the 25th at the Grenada Trade Center Annex, starting from 3 p.m. Price $100. It's an afternoon tea party and hat show. So listener, order your hat now before Uncle Trump put in another thing and you can't get your hat and them coming from. Before you can't get your hat and them coming from China to go over to the States to come down. Yeah, if you have to go on Shein or where's the other one that is used there? There was a few of them that are Team U or Team U or whatever they call it. Yeah, go on them and see if you get your hat and thing nowhere and get it done in time. So that is taking place on Sunday, the 25th of May, and price $100. And tea time is from 3 p.m. Afternoon tea and hat show. Again, at the Grenada Trade Center Annex at Monroe St. George, they're going to have the hat show, and of course, they're giving prizes, and they're going to have bingo and other special prizes, apart from the hat prizes and so other little prizes and so. So head on out. That's the New National Party Women's Arm. You know, I was going to wear pink today. I should have put on my pink, you know. Yeah, but next thing they start to call me Mr. Pinky. Yeah, so that's a Cup of Love, celebrating mothers, right? Yes, and as we speak about mothers, mother's care, yes, remember little Kellyanne? Yeah, right, Kellyanne? That's the young lady here. She needs your help. She don't even have the hair that you see in there and thing again, and the hair gone. She do the first set of treatment, she has more to do. All right, folks, help. You see the account number at the cooperative bank, you see the account number at the Nexa Credit Union. Folks, help if you can. Help if you can. Yeah, today for you, tomorrow for me, today for me, tomorrow for you. All right, so we have to help when we can. All right, indeed, folks, let me see. I think I know what was causing that problem with the phone line. So let me see if I get back, if I try calling back, if I'm going to get the folks that were trying to reach us. Oh, yeah, I missed 2 calls. Let me try the first one. Yeah, man, I'm calling them. I must get them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let me just see if I can get back the caller that was, well, at least one of them. And then I'm going to try the other one. Hey, Talking Points calling all in answer the phone. Hey, what kind of thing is that? Okay, well, we're trying the next one now. We didn't get the first one, so we're trying the second one who was trying to reach us. And I think we have the caller. Hello, good night.
Good evening.
Hey,
How are you?
Good night to the geezer, man.
How you doing, Governor? How you doing, Governor?
I'm quite fine, man. I'm quite fine. A bit tired today, but I'm fine.
Yeah, good, 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 good. Well, congratulations to the four uh caretakers. So that's good. They seem very, very good. Spoke very, very well, and I reckon they'll do very well for your party.
Great.
I just want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Where is your prime minister today?
I think he's in Antigua. Antigua, yeah. I think he's in Antigua.
Is he?
At a point in time, I know he was in St. Lucia, I think, yesterday. I think he may
Okay.
be in Antigua now.
All right. Right. Well, you got the funeral on Saturday, haven't you, for the Pope?
Yes,
Do
Pope
you think it's
Francis's
gonna?
funeral
Do you
is
think?
on Friday, yeah? Saturday, sorry. Yeah.
No, Saturday. So do you
Yeah.
think your prime minister going to go?
You never know when it comes to the Prime Minister of Grenada.
That's what I mean.
You just never know. I know that Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, he met Pope Francis, he met
Yeah.
he met Pope Paul, and he met the Pope in between both of them, Pope Benedict. He met all three
Yeah.
of them. But I believe that was on his dime. I don't believe that was on Grenadians' dime. That was on his old dime that he made
Yeah.
sure, and he brought his mom, who you know is 100, heading to 102, I believe it is now. He brought his mom to meet the Holy Father. Yeah, so she
All
met,
right.
I think she met the last three popes, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay. Well, no, I just thought, if your people, your guys know that, I reckon if he's been asked, he'll pop on the plane and go over. So that's another lot of money, more money spent. So there we go. That's the way prime ministers do, I'm afraid. They love spending our money.
But the thing
So-
is, I think when you look at you juxtapose Barbados and their prime minister over a number of years only spending 1 point something million, and you look at
That's
Grenada and in 1 year you have overspending by 2 million in 1 year. You have overspending
Yes.
by 2 million, 8 million plus in total. It tells a story. And then when you look at the
Well, of course it
economy
does.
of Barbados and you look at the
Yes.
economy of Grenada, and you say, well, okay, all this spending is taking place. If you spend $2 million over or $8 million, you expect to see a return. There should be an equation where you're seeing a return on each dollar that you spend. As it is
That's
right
it.
now, we are not seeing the return on the dollars spent. We're not seeing it.
No, well, you won't, because at the end of the day, he loves his. I call him a globetrotter, because at the end of the day, he loves traveling. And I mean, if he's in another country now, you think what he's going to be like tomorrow night? He'll go over. If he's been invited, he'll go over there anyway. You know what I mean? So he's spending your kind of money. It's ridiculous. As I said to you before, when he travels to maybe to the Middle East, you're talking a lot of money. I can't understand a small country as yours and a prime minister globetrotters around all over the place. And I just don't understand that completely, because when you're traveling, you've got hotels and taxis and all that kind of thing. He doesn't go privately. Economy, he goes first class. And for a small country as yours, when you're spending $8 million, I mean, that's a lot of money. And
Can
I'm
can I tell you
concerned.
something? During the period of the New National Party, when I was a part of government and I was a junior minister, I traveled on behalf of the government of Grenada twice
Yeah.
in nearly 3 years, twice. And I'm not speaking about twice a month. I traveled on behalf of the government of Grenada twice. And if I
Yeah.
remember correctly, on both occasions, the government of Grenada did not have to pay. In one instance, there was this organization, I was going to Jamaica for a conference. And on the
Yeah.
second occasion, I was going to Trinidad, and that was paid for by the Commonwealth. Being here right now. So
Right.
I'm just giving it a moment to come back on. Okay, yes, so I think it's back on, yeah. So yeah, it's back on now. What I was telling you is that the only time that I ever traveled first class, and this is not a complaint because I really don't care At the end of the day, the front of the plane, middle of the plane, and back of the plane land at the same time. Yeah?
That's
And
right.
the only time was that in the same instance when I went to Jamaica, there was a problem and I missed my flight. And when the Jamaicans put me on the other flight, they made sure and they put me in first class. That's the only way I end up traveling on first class. Not
Yeah.
a
Well,
single
you just got
cent
that right.
cost to the
Yeah.
government of Grenada. Not a single cent.
Yeah.
But you see the
Can
opposite
I ask you
here.
another? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask you another question? Yeah. Can
Yeah,
I ask
sure.
you another question?
Go right ahead.
About your seaweed situation? What's happening with
Mm-hmm.
that? Because what we have over here, we have a lot of seaweed. Our government gets cleaned up. So
Mm-hmm.
what's actually happening to yours over there? Because I heard that your prime minister is asking the youngsters or people who he got rid of in the the training for
Imani. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So what's happening about the seaweed? Hasn't he sorted that out yet?
No. On the campaign trail, and I do have some clips in relation to that I will be playing a bit later. The Prime Minister the then opposition, well, he wasn't even opposition leader, but he was just the leader of the opposition party, said that he would be getting some nets. The problem is very easy to deal with. They'll just get some nets and drag all the seaweed away. That has since disappeared. There was a conference in relation to sargassum here in Grenada a couple months ago, during last year. There was a conference in relation to sargassum. And since then, we've seen no developments. The latest I've seen is I saw the Minister of Education, who is not the MP for St. Andrew Southeast, but is speaking as though he is, saying that the Solid Waste Authority has the responsibility to remove the seaweed now from on the seashore. Where they're going to put it is a different case. What they're going to do with it is a different case. There's no program that says we're going to take it and make fertilizer, or we're going to take it and put it, because one of the things that I remember reading in relation to the seaweed a few years ago was that it contains heavy metals.
Yes.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of heavy metals. So if you're going to use it for fertilizer or you're going to use it for plants, you're actually running the risk of those heavy metals passing into the plants and into the people eating those plants. And you're endangering their life. It's a higher chance of cancer.
Yeah. No, it's just that, our government over here, if we have problems, the councils, they clean it up. But yes, I mean, it's like your roads, like in St. Andrews, you had a lot of flooding. I mean, why can't the government sort that out? So you've got a lot of problems in your country that needs dealing with, but he's always globetrotting. And that what makes me angry, because at the end of the day, if we've got a problem, our Prime Minister is here in the UK making sure that things are sorted. Yes, he's got to go to Ukraine and, to sort out Putin and all that kind of thing, and Trump and all that kind of stuff, but he's normally here because at the end of the day, he's got to sort out his country. But your guy, he's just globetrotting so much and costing so much money. I bet you, right, I bet he'll go to the funeral, and I'll bet you if he had the opportunity, he would have his own jet, just like, Air Force One and stuff like that. I'll bet you.
On coming in, he did speak about Grenada getting its own plane. And if that was so, we know that's what the plane would be used for. In fact, while chairman of Carriacou, there was some complaints by the other Carriacou heads that the Prime Minister of Grenada was using the RSS plane a little too much, like if it was a private jet. He was utilizing it a little too much. I would know. I have people that work along with some of those prime ministers, and they were complaining that the Prime Minister of Grenada was using the RSS jet. No, the RSS jet, it belongs to the Regional Security Services. It is based in Barbados. If you have a ship that's missing, drug interdiction and so on, or to transport members of the RSS from one island to the other in case of emergency, that is what the plane is for, not for joyriding. And it seemed as though the Prime Minister
that's
thought
what
it
I
was a
reckon he's
private
doing
jet.
anyway. So if you think about it, your guy really is pulling the wool over your lot eyes. I mean, I've never known a prime minister from a small country travel so much, and it's costing so much money. As I said to you before last week, you know, going to places like Dubai, you're talking £2,000-3,000, pounds per night. You know, I mean, it's not £50 a night, it's 2,000 or 3,000. You know, so that's why.
And the other thing you have to understand is we're speaking about the Prime Minister here, but it's not just the Prime Minister. You have the minister. You have the minister who's responsibility for MIT. You have the finance minister. You have the minister with the blue economy. You have all these different ministers, the foreign affairs minister. And it's like at any point in time, there seems to always be one of those government ministers somewhere in the Middle East. It seems like nearly every week there's one there.
Well, put it this way, I'm going to tell you now, there is no way that you're going to have Qatar Airways coming into Grenada. It's just not going to happen.
I'd say it would be absolutely fabulous if they would. I'm not going to. I'm not going to hold my breath. Have you ever
seen inside them?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen inside these planes?
Only
Emirates.
Only in pictures.
Right. Well, they're first class. Even the economy is like first class. You know, you're paying for it. I can't see, you know, these airlines coming in. If they do, that's great, but you won't see many Arabs coming over to your country. Not being, you know, disrespectful or anything, because, you know, they just won't.
No,
if they did,
what you would see,
they would have come over before. I don't understand, why did he sign all these papers and everything else? Because I don't understand.
Over the years, not just this government, but other governments have signed air agreements with countries. I place no big. I think we've signed agreements with African countries in relation to air travel. We've signed agreements with other European countries in relation to air travel and so on. You've signed it. It does not mean that there will be, because Grenada doesn't have any planes that it's going to send there. And they're only going to start putting Grenada on as a route if there is significant volume of people on constant basis. It can't be a one-off, on a constant basis wanting to visit. For that to happen, you have to have a certain amount of room stock. If you do not have the room stock, and not just the room stock, but you have to have the room stock up at the quantity and quality that these people are looking for, who would utilize that particular airline.
That's right.
If you're not
that's just like Virgin, like Virgin Airlines.
You're not speaking 3 and 4 airline. You're not speaking 3 and 4 star here. These are people who want the best of the best. They want basically, like, they're leaving a palace, they want to come to another palace. That's basically it.
That's it. But that's what I'm saying. The Arabs, yes, I mean, they spend money, no doubt about it. But, you know, I mean, I wish all the best in that, but I just can't see it. You know, I mean, if you know, most Arabs will go to London and go to Harrods and Selfridges and Marks and Spencer's to go and spend their money. But if they do come into your country, that'd be great. You know, they spend a lot of money, but you know, it's just spending, globe-trotting around. He could do a lot of it on Zoom. You know, it's just, I've never known a prime minister to actually travel so much in a small country, and
you'd be surprised though,
nothing giving it out and not telling your people, you know, the citizens, what he's doing.
No, you know, the thing is this, even with all of that, I would not have it would not have been a problem to me if all that travel, I don't know what is this, if all that travel was being done and there was some benefit to the island. Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, the internet is not working with us tonight. Yeah, it's behaving badly. Yeah, it is definitely not working with us. Let's take this call. We do apologize for the situation with the internet. It is dropping off every now and again. So let's see if we can get through this call. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, Sheldon. How you doing?
Hey, I'm quite fine, bro. How are you?
Doing good. I'm doing good.
All right, man.
I'm
You go right
calling in for
ahead.
this time just to say congratulations to the 4 new candidates, Amanda, Nolan Thompson, Clean, and Diali.
Yeah. Well, let's not candidates, constituency
Yeah,
caretakers. We're making sure we're
caretakers,
being careful.
caretakers. My humble apologies.
And we know they will take care.
You know. Yes.
Yeah, so you just say,
No, I have
go ahead.
Yes, I have interacted with them, and I will say they're good people that very caring towards people. They listen to people within the constituency, and they're very helpful in terms of listening and dealing with the needs of people. So I know that they'll do a very good job in representing NNP and the people of the different constituencies that they'll be taking care of. So I wish them all the best and continue their good work, and I'm all in to help to support them and help them along the journey.
All right, thank you so very much, my brother. Don't make yourself a stranger to the program, man. Don't let that be your first and last
No
call.
problem.
Don't be a stranger.
I will be back.
And you have a voice on radio, I don't know why it doesn't be on radio regular. You have a voice on radio, man.
Everything is in its time, and I'm coming.
All right, bro. Be blessed.
Have a good one. You too.
Yes, indeed, folks. So we do apologize for what is taking place. I didn't want to end the program and do a total reset of the system. That would take roughly about 10-15 minutes. I didn't want to end the program and do that. So we're moving along. Hopefully, the internet will behave itself and we'll be able to complete the show tonight without another interruption. If it does stick again, no, it is not that we've ended. It is that the internet in this location is giving a lot of problems tonight, real problems, yeah? So we are going ahead as best as we can for the time being. We are taking your calls, folks. Feel free to call us, 1473-440-7377. And we have a call online. Hello, good night. Hi, good night.
Hey, good night, Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay, man. Okay.
Yeah, go right ahead. You're live.
Sheldon, someone asked me a question, right? I could give them almost more than three-quarter of the question, right? Right? And asked me any dual plane governance, govern Grenada.
For some, hold a minute, caller. For some reason, wherever you are, we're hearing a lot of noise.
Okay, I define.
Yeah, well, you have to move on from by. Nice, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
so people could hear you clearly.
Someone asked me a question too. They want to find out something. They say they know Gary was in govern Grenada, MBPM, and NMP, NDC. Right? And they say they know Gary built a lot of schools. He built the School of Medicine. Right? You know, Gary did that. Then they know Bishop, the airport, NMP, the athletic stadium, the cricket stadium, the military complex, the bus terminal, they build roads, they build the market, then the scholarship, the improvement of education, and many other things they did. Even the electrify the rural area with water and electricity. I didn't know that. But they're searching and they want to find out what NDC did as a party in governance for all the years that they did. What landmark they did. I said, I want to try to sort. I would ask. They can't find nothing. So I say, well, let us find out from you if you know anything that we don't know. Our seniors.
No, I think NDC had to answer that one. I ain't answering. What I know, what I do know is this: if I stand anywhere in Grenada and I throw a tennis ball, I ain't gonna throw a cricket ball, I might bust somebody's head. if I throw a tennis ball in any direction, I must hit 3 projects that the new National Party did.
Exactly.
Any direction you throw a ball, you must hit 3 projects, 3 things that the new National Party developed, built,
Indeed.
conceptualized in Grenada. Any direction you pelt that ball.
Well, Sheldon, here the answer I could only give them. The abuse of public funds. That's the only answer I could give them. The amount of money that's spent on traveling for 2 years, $8 million. While Barbados for 7 years, Barbados.
2 years? Who tell you that's for 2 years? That's not 2 years, brother.
Right?
2 years is more
Barbados,
than
7
that.
years Barbados in 7 years spent $1.7 million. Right? So what is the government, this prime minister and his cronies are doing? They're abusing the public funds. Look at what is something about independent celebration. Look at the amount of money that is spent in independent celebration. Well spend that money. No medication in hospital. But yet you had the prime minister sit on the bill a new hospital. The problem is not the hospital, not the new hospital. The problem is that you have a small hospital well properly taken care and with all the medication, people the proper health care will be taking place. But when you have the government just interested to buy medication to put in a general hospital, what you find happen? So how is the government thinking? Like a new hospital will solve the problem. We could be like a new hospital, no medication, the problem will still remain the same. Right? When our government lack vision, especially the prime minister lack vision, he cannot give vision. The little vision that he may have is to lie and to deceive the people. That's what he's good in. Speaking nice, allow the greater people to know. A man could speak nice, enticing word, but more than 3/4 of the word what he's saying is a lie. Don't look at that man's speech, but look at what he's doing to help develop people's life. That's what he has to base a man on and track record. Not on how he's speaking nice and dressing nice. So, Brother Sheldon, have a good say.
All right, you have a good one. All right, folks. Yes, and folks, you know what? Before internet go and cut off on me again, let me get into some trouble here tonight. I'm always in trouble anyway, so one more night ain't going to make a difference. I am always in trouble anyway. Huh? Yeah. So, folks, let me see if I can play this one for you. Yeah, because I want us to have a quick discussion here tonight. So I'm going to go straight on to the main issue. I'll go mention some other things down the line. But let me go on to the main one tonight. Okay, yeah, that's what I didn't do, right?
Tell where they got it from.
Let's take it there.
Because people keep saying stuff, and you can't tell where they got it from, inventing the narratives and discussing it in this honorable house. This cannot stand. You can't just invent stuff and bring it inside this honorable house and expect to try to deal with it and waste the people's time and try to confuse people and try to mislead people. A lot of that is going on, and this needs to stop in this honorable house. Madam President, I listen to the talk about this administration promising 500 homes a year and 500 homes a month, and people suggesting how many homes we should deliver in what time. I, at no point, heard or saw written anything about 500 homes a year, a month, or anything of the sort. Instead, I know we said that we had a Project 500 that we were going to roll out nationally. That program is currently underway. And you see, people want to give us timelines. You see, I think there is a penchant on the other side, both in this place here and on the other place, to tell people when to do what to do. Pay it now! Pay it right now! Quite well, Madam President.
So, folks, I want you just to pay attention to what the minister, I'm going to say honorable minister, but he's not making an honorable statement because the minister is, quite frankly, he's lying. Yeah? So I want you to listen very carefully once again to what the minister has to say. His entire statement about people trying to mislead and making statements that are not true and all this sort of thing. So let's listen to the minister again.
You keep saying stuff and you can't tell where they got it from.
Yes, people keep saying stuff and you can't tell where you're getting from. Let's go down the road now.
Inventing the narratives and discussing it in this honorable house.
Inventing narratives and discussing it. And this is in response to Senator the Honorable Mayana Charles, who mentioned the fact, not the statement or the guess or the lie, the fact that the NDC, as a political party before the general elections, made a promise of 500 houses a year, 2,500 houses over the period of the first 5 years. Yeah, but this individual, in attacking her, is trying to give the impression that that statement was never made. And we're going to bring Senator Charles on soon, eh? Not tonight.
You can't just invent stuff and bring it.
Oh, you can. So she invented it. Okay, we'll get to that.
Inside this honorable house and expect to try to deal with it and waste the people's time and try to confuse people and try to mislead people. A lot of that is going on, and this needs to stop in this honorable house. Madam President, I listened to the talk about this administration promising 500 homes a year and 500 homes a month, and people suggesting how many homes we should deliver in what time. I, at no point, heard or saw written anything about 500 homes a year, a month, or anything of that sort. Instead, I know we said people suggesting how many homes we should deliver in what time. I, at no point, heard or saw written anything about.
Now, let me just make sure we're hearing you properly, Senator. I want to make sure it's you are hearing saying that, right? Yeah.
I, at no point, heard or saw written anything about 500 homes a year, a month, or anything of that sort. Instead, I know we said that we had a Project 500 that we were going to roll out nationally. That program is currently underway.
Folks, as we all know, the Project 500, the name Project 500, came about after the general election, not before. And Senator Mayana Charles was speaking simply about the fact that the statement was made by the present Prime Minister, where he spoke to houses. In fact, let's go to the first one here. Let's go to when they had the NDC, before the general elections, had several forums. One of those forums, they spoke to the issue of housing. This is Mr. Deacon and Ms. Mitchell at that forum when he laid out what the NDC plan was for housing in the state of Grenada. Let's hear Mr. Deacon Mitchell. This is before the general election. Yeah, and this ain't no AI. It's still up on the internet. You can go and you can find it. It's on the NDC YouTube page. And they could go and take it down if they want. I've already copied it. So they could take it down as much as they want. Yeah? And they could even edit it, but we have the full unedited version. So they could go ahead and do all they want. But let's hear, because the minister is claiming that he never hear anything about timeline and all of this thing. So let me hear what the now Prime Minister was saying when he was just leader of the party.
The NDC is going to commit to and partner with the private sector to ensure that we build and make available affordable housing during our first term in office. And we are aiming to construct 2,500 homes. The homes will be made.
So if you're planning to construct 2,500 homes, that's basically at the rate of what? Over a 5-year period, because you're in office for 5 years. Although they wouldn't make 5 and they wouldn't get an next 5. But you're in office for 5 years. 2,500 works out to 500 per year. Yeah? So let's hear him again. It's not me speaking. It is the present Prime Minister speaking. His words.
Construct 2,500 homes. The homes will be made available for sale. The price ranges will vary depending on the size of the houses. The plans for the houses will be designed in such a way that they can be scaled up. So if someone at the age of 25 can only afford a 1-bedroom house, the plans will be designed in such a way that at 25 you get a 1-bedroom house. but it will permit you, if you wish to scale the size of the house up later on in life to 2 bedrooms, to 3 bedrooms, to 4 bedrooms, to be able to do so. Because the aim of our housing program is to ensure that Grenadians take control of, have ownership of, and have equity in their homes that allows them over time to keep building, to keep improving, and to keep expanding the size of their homes should they so desire. And let me emphasize that these will be homes, not apartments. And that's why we emphasize on Grenadian-style homes. It will be homes that traditionally we are accustomed to, that allows you to have a front yard or a backyard or both, so that you can also still engage in your flower garden and in your backyard and front yard gardening should you so desire.
All right, so we've heard the Prime Minister there. Apparently, Mr. Dave Andrew, I don't know what he was doing at that point in time, but he didn't hear about the 500 homes, yeah? And that was they had a specific town hall meeting before the general election in relation to the issue of housing and what they would do. In fact, the NDC also had this, they also had this.
The NDC wants to remove the barriers to owning such homes by creating a housing program that caters to all Grenadians. Our plan is to engage in a public-private partnership to provide affordable Grenadian-style homes that will be accessible to every Grenadian. In our first term, we will construct 500 homes across the Tri-Island state. These homes...
And you all realize how the story has changed now because the story has changed 3 times, huh? And this was before the election, the story changed 3 times. So it started off now with 2,500, which would basically work out to 500 per year over 5 years. That would work out to 2,500, yeah, right. Now we have them saying, in this ad that they put out before the election campaign, 500 houses. So the amount dropped by 2,000 down to 500 homes. So the story changed even during the campaign. Yeah, so let's hear the rest.
The pockets of Grenadians who would otherwise not be in a position to own a home. A government's responsibility is not only to foster economic growth, but to also help create an environment. The NDC wants to remove...
So we've heard that one as well. But apparently, Mr. Andrews probably was sleeping or something, so he didn't hear. Yeah, he didn't hear. So let's hear again. Now this one is at a... Let me see when this one is. Yeah, this is at the River Sally. Yeah, River Sally in St. Patrick on Sunday, the 22nd of May, 2022. The person you're about to hear.
12 months of forming the government. Within 12 months of forming the government, the National Democratic Congress will start a nationwide housing program. That program will be done in conjunction with the private sector, so we will have a public-private partnership. And we will commence building 500 Grenadian-style homes in each parish. And we will do so each year thereafter.
So now the story changed again from what they had at the town hall, the briefing, where they mentioned that they'd be doing 2,500. Then the story changed in the ad to 500 over the entire period of time. And now it's changed to, in 12 months, they would start building houses, 500 per year, each year. Yeah? And in the way that he's speaking now, it also gives the impression, and I think that is purposely done, to leave that sort of kerfuffled imagery in the minds of different people. That, hey, he's probably speaking about 500 per constituency. Yeah, because that is how it is coming across. If you're there and you're listening and you're hearing that, you probably think that he's speaking about 500 per constituency each year over the 5 years. So listen carefully again, and we're going to take this one from the top without interruption.
12 months of forming the government.
In other words, it was not Senator the Honorable Mayana Charles, or did I say Lewis early? Mayana Charles. It was not the New National Party that made the promise that this would be done within 12 months of coming into office. This was not a timeline set by the New National Party. So when Senator David Andrews stands up in the parliament and say that the NNP is trying to force deadlines on people, Mr. Man, whatever you're drinking, you better ease off of it and start to drink water. Eh? Whatever it is you're drinking, because it was not the NNP that set the timeline. It is your political leader, the same person you sit in your executive meetings with, the same person you sit in your cabinet. Well, that is if he does be in cabinet because he's never in the country. But anyhow, you take it. Yeah, that is who said 12 months. It was not us. So when you start to talk about who trying to force timeline on people, it wasn't the NNP. Yeah?
Within 12 months of forming the government, the National Democratic Congress will start a nationwide housing program. That program will be done in conjunction with the private sector, so we will have a public-private partnership. And we will commence building 500 Grenadian-style homes in each parish. And we will do so.
Now, when he says it like that, it gives the impression that 500 homes in each parish, not 500 homes on the island. There's a difference. To those of us who are students of the English language, who didn't fall asleep in the class, when he says it in this format, and it is purposely being done like that, because it is purposely being done like that to mislead the population, and it worked. He's saying it in a way that the impression that the people who were there gathered left with were that it's going to have 500 houses in my parish. So if I need one, the likelihood, because of the volume that's going to be done, the likelihood of me obtaining a house is higher. I'm voting for that. That is how the story was sold. Yeah? So it's not me saying it, it's he saying it. Listen again.
We will commence building 500 Grenadian-style homes in each parish. And we will do so each year thereafter. So
if you're building 500 in each parish each year, somebody calculate, that's about 35,000. That's about 35,000, right? Yeah, because you have 500 by 15. That is saying, so probably about 35,000. Am I correct? Am I wrong? Anyway, yeah. But anyhow.
Can live in affordable housing, not apartment.
Affordable housing. Yet still, these are the same people that came, took the Chinese-built apartments, put a heavy high price tag on them, and price out all the poor people that were trying to get those apartments. The people that those things were built for, the middle income and lower income people that these apartments were built for, they priced them out, used the Condominium Act, and they placed these prices exorbitantly high so that the only folks that could actually get those apartments were not the ones that were built and meant to help, but people who otherwise would have been able to qualify for financing from banks, etc., to do their own homes. But he doing things to make it affordable for people, isn't it? Yeah.
Front yard or the backyard that they can improve in their own image, shape, and likeness. 12 months of forming the government. Within 12 months of forming the government, the National Democratic Congress will start a nationwide housing program. That program will be done in conjunction with the private sector, so we will have a public-private partnership. And we will commence building 500 Grenadian-style homes in each parish. And we will do so each year thereafter, so that our citizens of Grenada.
Yeah, folks. So, and one good friend just did the calculation for me, and yes, I believe you're correct. I was correct. 7,500 per year if it's 15 constituencies by 500. So that would be 7,500 per year, 37,500 houses in 5 years. So if it goes to the calculation that people can assume from what the Prime Minister is saying there, he's making a statement that could fall on any side. I forget the literary device that is called. But he's making a statement that could fall on either side, meaning 500 in all the parishes or 500 in each parish. Yeah? So it is a confusing statement, but it is meant to confuse. Yeah? It is a literary device that was meant to confuse the average listener so that they would not have a clear and concise understanding, but they would believe what was the more, yeah, but I believe that man talking about 500 per concert, but I will get a house, I will get a house. But then, you know, even worse than that, when I listen to Senator Andrew, is this, and let me just show you all something here. You know what, now I want to hear that shippiness, right? But let me point out something to you all here. Yeah, let me point out something to you all here. In fact, let me bring this up large instead of how it is there. Right. This was just after the Prime Minister finished speaking. The person stand up in front here. You see this person right around here who are passing the mouse on? That is Senator David Andrew. At the same meeting where the Prime Minister made that statement a little while ago, this same person stand up here is the same Dave Andrew. This is the very same meeting. The Prime Minister had just finished speaking. Yes, this is River Sally. And you see it there? Sunday, May the 22nd, 2022. The person on the stage standing up in front. He wasn't to the back. He was standing up in front. He was sitting right behind the Prime Minister to his left when the statement was made about 500 houses. Yeah? Looky there, looky right there, looky right there. He was sitting down, the Prime Minister was talking here, at the podium here, and looky there. The same person that's saying no, they never hear. Maybe he was sleeping through the Prime Minister's speech at that point in time. I don't know, I think the man was sleeping, and he don't hear in truth. Next thing the man is sleeping. Yeah? Because I am still trying to understand how could he try to convince the Grenadian people that he didn't hear that? He was sitting right there. He was sitting right there. Yeah? Because when the Prime Minister finished speaking, yeah? When the Prime Minister finished speaking, look, I could go and check the tape. Look the timeline here. Go on the NDC YouTube page. And you will see, who is that person there? Look the arrow pointing to him. Who is that person there? Look, Laco over on that side there. Look, Cornwall there. Look, Deacon there. And this is Mr. Dave Andrew stand up right there. Within earshot. He could have leaned and touch the Prime Minister when the Prime Minister talking. And it's the same person saying, Mr. Andrew, stop lying. I don't know where let us come out. Stop lying. To damn lie. Eh? You too damn lie. I'm not talking about a lie. Stop it. Damn lie. Folks, you can call 440-7377. Yes, you got to call us on the WhatsApp. Remember, +1 473-440-7377. Save the number to your mobile device. Then you would be able to look in and you would see it in WhatsApp that you would be able to call. All right, hey, a phone cut off on me there. Yeah? And if you're doing it by parishes, as one person messaged me here, if you're doing it by parishes, that's 17,500 homes. Yeah? If he's not doing it by constituency and he's doing it by parishes, because he did mention parishes, that's the 7 parishes, so you're talking about 17,500 homes. Listen, had it not been, and I don't like to make this statement, but it is a truthful one, so I will make it. Had it not been for Hurricane Beryl, the record on building houses by this administration would have been zeroing. You had people who house born in Shantimel. Up to now, I ain't even sure if the house rebuilt. Yeah? The record on rebuilding houses outside of fire victims here and there would have been zero by this administration. They're talking about, oh, there's so much work in the country right now and you can't find people to work. You cannot find people for a specific type of job. You cannot find people for construction. But there are many people who physically cannot do construction, or maybe they can physically do it, but they are not trained in it, so they won't take up those jobs. And those jobs are only in that situation due to no excellent work of the National Democratic Congress, you, Mr. Andy. The reason that there is an overflow right now and they have a lot of people looking for people to do construction work for them is not because of any excellent job that was done by the NDC administration. It was by the devastating job that was done by Hurricane Beryl. Because Hurricane Beryl leveled two of the islands, level it, just level those two islands and level the top part of Grenada. Wiped those homes, businesses, everything off the map. So that is not the doing of the NDC that it have a lot of jobs in the construction industry right now. It is not a case where Mr. Williams or anybody else went over to Dubai or Qatar or wherever and they brought back jobs into Grenada. I think we have a caller on the line. Let's go to the phone line. Hello.
Hey, Sheldon, good night. Good night. What do you do?
Ade, man, go right through.
Good night, Talking Points family again. Sheldon, there's something good topics tonight, but there was something I was thinking about that I saw last night, and I personally follow all the information that coming from the government side, opposition.
Mm-hmm.
The NDC, the government, I think had a conference of what you call a town hall last night.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to look at the town hall yet. I have to look at it and see what they were saying.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was chatting to two partners of mine in the industry, and I was asking them if they're watching. And I actually watched I reached home and was watching the final thing, and the acting prime minister again, the acting prime minister. And do you know what struck me kind of strange is that the prime minister, who's supposed to be Honorable Dika Mitchell, his press secretary was here, and she was hosting that particular. Well, she was hosting on media, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the acting prime minister was behind four ladies. The placement, and shall we know what you call a power play. Now, I made that comment last night to the brethren who I was talking to. I said, look at what's been happening. Lo and behold, this morning, I heard on a program the same kind of sentiments. No, that's not my business. I don't care about NDC. I don't give a damn over it. But what I saw, rather strange, because I just watched when the members speaking. If you look at the member of, well, not a member of parliament, but the PR for St. George Northeast, look at his demeanor when certain people was talking. Look at the member of parliament PR for St. George South.
Boss,
when
as a man and he doesn't want to watch man.
Well, anyhow, I will say,
if you want
look at Minister Karen James. Look at Minister Karen James when she was speaking, and look at Minister Andy Williams.
Boss, I don't have any trouble listening to these people. You want me to watch their face too, man. Oh God.
No, hold on. So let me show you something.
Why let us do with this thing, man? Oh God, partners.
So hold on. One thing I noticed, there were two members missing, right? There was Minister of Agriculture, Mr. I think, and Mr. Tevin Andrews. I watched I watched the whole thing. But look at when Minister Karen James was speaking. And look at Minister Andy. Not Andy, most honorable Andy Williams. It's like they were sending messages to and fro, back and forth. Look carefully. I'm telling you all, look carefully to what Andy was doing. Andy. And when Minister James was speaking, carefully. And see what I want to see. I'm not crazy. I just watch them. Because they call him Dika Mitchell the most honorable. You cannot be described as most honorable.
Leading people with the most honorable, what we want to find out is Who is funding?
Sheldon.
Listen to me. We want to find out who is funding the place that he's living at. People ain't voting. People ain't vote. Listen, let me explain something to you. There are certain things you just know bother with. People ain't voting on whether people has called Deacon Mitchell the most honorable or the honorable. Yes, it's wrong. They're calling him wrong. We understand that, right? People will quicker make a decision based on the fact that this man has a place as the Prime Minister's residence, refuses to set foot or spend a night there, and is costing taxpayers over $20-something thousand from what we're hearing on a monthly basis for a place that he deems to be the place that a Prime Minister should be living, and still with no plans of development with the existing location. Now, if you ask the average voter which one they care about, calling him the most honorable or that, which one you think they're going to tell you they are more concerned about? Sometimes those little battles I don't bother with them. Seriously, to be honest with you, I don't bother with those things. It's wrong. It's wrong. We teach the children it is wrong to say. They can't call him the right honorable. They can't call him the most honorable. It is wrong. So the children that are coming up, and we have to teach them the proper etiquette, that it is wrong to say that. You must make that statement. But to harp on it as a major issue, I mean, come on, really, seriously.
Yeah, but do you know, the own supporters telling them, do not continue doing that, because if you continue saying it, it will become commonplace, which is dangerous. Stop saying this nonsense. This man is not the most honorable. And the more they're hearing it and they're not heeding. My point is, please, people, listen to the point of the matter. The man living in a place that costs $20,000 a month for the last 3 years. But they saying, oh, you want to go in a place where, I ain't going to repeat what they're saying, but go in your own house. Listen to the facts. I will leave by saying, you see what happening in America right now, where people not believing what happening? The Secretary of Defense now want a makeup room. Shall I have a good night? Later.
Well, maybe they want to go and make up in the room when things. The next thing is not face makeup, and the next thing is a place to go and make up, We got another call online. Hello, good night.
Yo, Fadu, me and Mary Jane cracking up here,
But the man wasn't there. The man don't know nothing about that, boss. The man wasn't on the stage.
Yo, this is the
man sit down. The man sit down in the front, In the front, he sit down right behind the Prime Minister. He ain't sit down 2 rows, 3 rows behind. He in the front row behind the Prime Minister to the left.
Right.
And the man saying, you don't know about that?
And he say you don't know nothing about it. I love that you play that for
listen, children cockle ears. He too damn like.
Fabrication of terminological inexactitudes.
You understand this, man?
Oh, listen. I swear, I don't. It's just mind-boggling. Like, it's almost like the tape is not there, That's the man don't tell all the tape don't lie. You get me? He's right. If the man, I just can't believe it.
If the man they go to the bathroom or he wasn't on the stage or he didn't make that meeting is one thing, but the man was on the stage and the statement has been made.
Ring and finger. Ring and finger. Oh my days, that was a good one, brother. All right, so 2 homework topics now.
Go right ahead.
The same thing about the funding. Not the funding. Sorry, the what you call it again?
The expenses.
No, the fund, man. The fund. Yeah, the fund. Not the funding. The fund. Where the money going now? Where the business money going now?
Oh, GDP.
To check out where the fund is. That's the homework assignment. Yeah, you have to find out exactly what kind of fund that he stated that he made or he has, isn't it? That's very, 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 very important. In terms of a lot of the things I'm seeing them posting right now, so in terms of like accomplishments, right? I'm seeing like little patches of streets and drains. Some of the pictures, it's horrible itself because you see like they're making a retaining wall, but then you see like a backup of wastewater in the same photo. But I say this to say, like, I'm old enough to remember when, to me, like the entire granny tank had the chicken wire placed on it to prevent slippage and stuff in it. You remember that?
I was actually there when they were doing that project.
Right.
I did photography
to
for the
me,
Ministry of Works.
That was a massive project. Even when you
Yeah.
went over 1910, the scenery, it just looked like a different place, like you were in a different place.
When you hit hit me easy corner, that's just as before you go down into Birch
That's
Grove
what's
there.
up. That's what's up.
I did the photography for the Ministry of Works back in the day for there. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, so I was just thinking about a comparison. It's like, okay, looking at, because to me that's like a monument, yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at the Granite Tongue side, yeah, and I'm looking at these little patchworks of drains and so-called roads and all that that's been done, the back walls, the retaining walls and all that. And I'm thinking like, rah, this is just madness. Like, how is there even a comparison? Like, how do individuals look at these things and give it blessing? Like, how do you reward a champion? Like, you know?
No, you see, the difference is this. I was looking back a couple months ago. I found some documents, Government at Work. And that's back from the 1990s coming up into the early 2000s. Government used to produce a booklet called Government at Work every year. And in those booklets, when the NNP was speaking about road construction, never once did they use feet in it. It was how much miles of road.
Miles of road.
So we did X amount of miles on the East Coast, miles on the West Coast.
I remember starting from
miles
different sides.
Of farm,
start from different sides of meat.
Yeah, miles of farm road. Same with drainage and so. And you would hear X amount of bridges and so were done. And in fact, so much infrastructure was done. The then NDC started asking if people could eat concrete. The concrete government. If you could eat concrete. No, these are the same people trying to. After one of them say, if you ever come and ask for praise for doing roads, bring him in Mount Gay. These are the same people that coming and talk about roads and all sort of things, right? No, these are the same people that are putting forward the infrastructure. And here's the greatest thing, the infrastructural projects that they are doing are not projects that they initiated. They are all projects that were being done by the New National Party. And what they keep trying to bamboozle the Grenadian people with is simply this.
Almost already paid for.
Well, that's the thing. But the other problem, for instance, the project on Fort George, that project, that has nothing to do with the NDC. They happen to be in office.
Wasn't nuts already.
Yeah, because the project was stalled and it wasn't about to be lost. The project was stalled for one reason. Several reasons. One, you were trying to find the new location to build a police headquarters, not to go and refurbish a building that the court and then move from and say it have thing to cause cancer there, and it would it on a floodplain and it have no parking. We're looking for a new location to build the police headquarters so that the police officers could be comfortable and secure. The present location, militarily, is not secure. You and I know that. Yeah?
Yep.
Apart from that, there was COVID. So the French architect that had to come, there was an issue because the world was closed down. That was the individual that had to come and do the architectural work for the reconstruction. So remember, you're speaking here, elections were in 2018. That project, you start doing your groundwork on that project between 2018 to 2019. At the end of 2019, you had a thing started, you started in about a thing in November, December, COVID-19. By the time we got to March 2020, the world shut down.
Shut down, yeah, true that.
And the world remained shut down for the rest of 2020. 2021, we had a major outbreak of COVID towards the end of 2021. You remember that? Towards the end of 2020. That's, in fact, 2020, we didn't have that set of deaths until it's 2021. Later in 2021, we started having 10 people and how much people dying a day with COVID. And then elections were in what? 2022. When you expect, when the country shut down for nearly 2 years, out of the 5 years in office, how you expect to be able to do different projects during that period of time? So they come and claim now, oh, NNP didn't do anything. They need to speak the truth to the Grenadian people. When they speak, mention COVID.
Branding everything, bro.
Yeah, and you see, but it's a constant thing because, brother, I keep saying it. These people are looking at the new voters. They're looking at these youngsters who are turning 18 now, 18 next year, who turned 18 last year and year before. All of these people were born after Hurricane Ivan. Nearly all of them were born after Emily. They know nothing of what took place in Grenada before that. And they don't care. They are
True.
only looking forward. They are looking to the
True.
future. So NNP can't go to them and say, well, we build the road on the East Coast and we build the road on the West Coast. They didn't want to hear that. They didn't care.
True.
They care about, hey, I want a scholarship. I want to go to university. I want a sporting scholarship. I want to go to St. George University, or I want to start my small business, or I want to do training, or I have health issues. What are you going to do for that? My mother don't have a good house. What are you doing for that? That is what they care about. So if you continue just trying to sell the message of what you did back in the 1990s and 1980s to them, they don't care. This new set of voters don't care. And this government in office is focused on that. And
they're manipulating that.
Yeah, it's to tie the people, because when they make the illiterate vacuous statement that the new national party did nothing, it's obvious they're not speaking what you call dog whistle politics.
To people that are old enough. Facts.
Yeah, it's dog whistle politics.
Facts.
It's to a particular audience. To
and
you
that's
and
very
me.
Misleading.
Yeah, because to
that's
you
very,
and
very
me,
misleading.
It's offensive to people like me and you. We've been around Fado. We grew up in town, you know. It's town we grew up in. So we know. But to the young ones, they're just growing. They don't know what it's like to go and take a bus in the market, to go and do your market in the market and just walk into a bus. They don't know about that.
Yeah, they don't know the rock as the rock.
Yeah, they don't know about jam rock and them kind of thing. We know about that. So when you're telling them about that, they don't care. It's like, what? Jam who? Now what they tell me about? Right now we just go online by the mall.
And before jam rock, it was the drags.
Right, and they don't know that where the mall was open sea, was the sea.
Where
Bruce Street Mall was the health center. They don't know about that. So they don't care about it because they don't know. So there's no emotional attachment to the past because they were not in it. So these people are focusing a message on the new voters and to get the new voters on their side, because they know you're speaking here about roughly 3,000 to 4,000 people that are being registered. And if they can twist the minds of these young people, they are hoping that would be enough to keep them in office.
That could flip it. That could flip the scales. Right now, I think not. Reason me saying that. But first, let me just put this out there. For the youngins, although I'm a youngin too, you know what I mean? But don't watch that. For the youngins and them, even at that GPS, you can't know where you're going unless you know where you come from. Yeah? So pay respect and homage to the elders. The old school, they have a lot of information, a wealth of information I could pass on. So pay attention to them. Don't do as the system is trying to do and separate it. It needs the cohesiveness. It needs the amalgamation of every group to add to the end product, because we need to transform like Voltron. You get me? All right. So the reason why I say I don't think they might. You see the families with individuals that are whitewashed, that don't know their roots, that wouldn't say that they African or come from an African or melanated heritage with European cosmetics on. You see them individuals there? Them so can trick easy. You get me? You see the loose ones with like foreign minded that want acceptance from a different group and don't believe in themselves as a people and where we come from kings and queens and them kind of sitting there, emperors and things. Those individuals, them will easily be swayed because they caught up in the system. Hence now a lot of them going out foreign, getting degrees, not to hate on all but all getting degrees that doesn't really contribute to humanity. It doesn't have an applicable place in the workforce or the work system or the building of Grenada. Real talk. So this government now, based on their alliance, trying to find work for them. Hence, I tell you, they're climatizing. You see how all the laws and stuff, I remember I was telling you about that. If you notice now, especially with the unions and things, now them people saying that unions and things could join the party now. You seen that report?
My friend, this is one of the most dangerous things I've heard for quite a while. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, bro. And I'm very glad you raised it. And you just make sure that I have to stay here additional 15 minutes on here tonight. Yeah, I stay in an additional 15 minutes. People stay with me. I stay in an additional 15. That's the last program for the night, for the week.
Sure.
Now, the thing is this. With what the PRO of the NDC said on that GBN program. Now, you're telling me, for instance, if I am a member of the Public Workers Union, and I'm just using that as an example. I do not believe that the leadership of the Public Workers Union would do that, but the leader will change eventually in years to come, and somebody else who is willing to do it might come in. So if the Public Workers Union joins the NDC and becomes part of the NDC, it means that public workers who, according to public service rules, cannot be taking part in active politics, etc., are now part of a political organization.
One then.
They said credit unions. So I am a member of 2 credit unions. So you're telling me that if I'm a member of these 2 credit unions and these 2 credit unions bounce their head and decide that they are going to join with the NDC, that I am then automatically a member of the NDC as well. But I never hear so much stupidness in a long period of time. And like, people afraid to call these people out on the stupidness. Call them out on the stupidness.
Well, that's the whole. You see, that's the dissatisfying part of the John Public in Grenada that really lures me, because it's like I don't think of any other instances that so much ridiculous things have come out on one group that the people were silent on it, or even if they held their tongue, you could see that, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of the people in power, though, the people that have the papers, they're the ones keeping their mouth shut. And because there are other people attached to it, like underlings based on the pyramid, the hierarchy, they going along to suit because they're looking to capitalize on whatever they could capitalize on because things are so crazy. Some of them are doing that. You have people that suck and salt, fam. It's like they're just waiting for a spark, innit? I keep saying that for a minute. You have people that just waiting for a spark.
Honestly, I believe this administration is obtuse. They just ain't care. They are quite obtuse.
I think that's an understatement, bro. just in care. Again, it's a systematic program that's being pushed, right? This might seem a little far-fetched and out of range, but people, right? There was a period when they had a lot of drama going on in Europe, right? You had the European Union, yeah? Okay. There's a period when a lot of stuff was going on in Asia. Then you had the Asian Union. Same for Africa. You had the African Union. No, there's a lot of things being pushed by the upper heads, and it's trickling down to the Caribbean. And right now, you hear the word for a Caribbean Union. Now, with all those unions come under one body or one head, right? Now, you remember, like during COVID, they were able to shut down the world in a day. You get me?
Yeah.
So if everything is under one head, it's not far-fetched to think like this is actually the program. So you remember Mr. Pierre always asks like, who sent Deacon and all that, right? Because he doesn't have a grassroots ground. We don't know he lie about picking cocoa and all that, picking nutmeg. You get me? So
picking nutmeg,
because of that, picking nutmeg, not picking up.
Yeah.
Not picking nutmeg.
Yeah.
You get me? So based on that, based on all the diabolical lies, play talk bad manners, the lies that's been out, the whole aspect of not caring, as I say, it's like an understatement. They care so much to the point that they are manipulating the system, trying to rewrite history. They documenting stories, plagiarizing stories, putting it out for media, knowing that is not factual, not correcting it. They're making statements that could be debunked, and there's no retraction.
You see, my friend, what they're trying to do when they make these statements is to obfuscate issues. They're trying their very best to confuse.
It's like distractions too.
To confuse the issue. So when the minister, and I refuse to call him honorable because of that lie, the man sitting right there, you know. So, and the thing is, you could say that he was sitting right there and he didn't hear. Okay, that's one thing. But he is part of a campaign that has a manifesto. He's part of a campaign that on more than one occasion, because I'm sure if I go into the street meetings, I can find that being said and he's sitting there again. I may even find instances of him repeating it. But he's saying that this is not true, just to try, because they were trying. It's the hyena mentality. I saw it the other day with that journalist at the Carriacou games, when everybody kind of piled on them. Yeah, you make your point, but everybody was like, yeah, you gave some lash, let me jump in and get some too. like they want their peace. You saw it recently with the PRO of the New National Party when he was on the program. Those people that started attacking him, they were operating like a bunch of hyenas. So it's like, I get a bite. You get a bite, let me get a bite too. I want a bite. And everybody, and all of them start attacking him. And so because they're trying to scare you from being you. They're trying to scare you from saying what you want to say. I may not agree with what one or the other may have said at any point in time, but it is their constitutional right to do so. And we have to understand that aspect of it. I may not agree with what they say, but it's their right to say. But it's not your right to go in parliament and lie. The man lie.
Yeah, 100%. As I said, I love that you played that. Before I run off, next piece of homework. You remember when they talk about the asphalt plant?
Yeah, we have to follow up on that one.
All right, so hold up, yeah. They you know the Grenadian dove. So technically, I think we have two national birds, right? I think we have the Grenadian dove and we have the kite, which is like from the raptors, yeah. Like what we just call chicken hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So more or less, we have two national birds, yeah. That area up there, because it's connected to Mount Morris, and I know part of Mount Morris is like a sanctuary for those. It was dedicated as sanctuary for those kind of animals, right? Based on the coral and the swamp area, though I definitely think we would have species there that are in danger right now based on the runoff, based on the chemical pollutions and stuff and all that, the smoke and all that. So you will have butterflies moving away, you will have smaller insects and stuff moving away, and those we definitely know pollinate the plants and all that. You get me? So that's one issue. So from a ecological point of view, I think some research should be done in that area, because I think that area should be like a sanction for these things. Yeah. So that's another part of homework there, because they might be, apart from just going against the mitigations in the law and all that, they might be committing a big offense. And since the system is talking about going into a green world and all that, to me, a lot of this acts and statutes that they put in place and policies that they've enacted more or less takes away from a true greener Grenada. Right? Even with the thing with I made a mention about that this today actually on one of the shows, and I remember was it PJ? PJ spoke about it. But people, this bamboo, yes, extracts like what do you say, an inch of water per week, right? But technically, if you do it on a versus ratio, cabbage do the same thing, and actually cabbage need more water than bamboo. Now, in terms of in the environment, now, granted, loose bamboo like coming through the riverway and stuff could block some stuff, right? But if you just like how they have the initiative for farming, if you plant the bamboo at the river course, one, it helps soil erosion, it helps against that. It takes away a lot of carbon dioxide in the air, a lot more than a lot of the hard greens, right? Then we know it's a grass, it grows rapidly. So
actually the fastest growing plant is bamboo.
Exactly. So that itself, if it's harvested or there's some initiative to make better use of it, I think that's something that could definitely help out the island itself. In terms of them cutting out the bamboo in the riverbed, because what happens now, you open the waterway to more silt, more land gonna break away. You understand? You have more soil erosion and all that, because bamboo roots keep that. Plus how the water, planting it on the banks of the rivers, it helps slows down the water. Like, I know.
I saw someone, about 2 other people were trying to call. So let me give them a chance to make the call, and we're gonna talk to that again. Yeah, man. Bless up, brother. Right? Yeah, man.
Good time, brother. Anytime. Safe.
Yeah, folks who were trying to call, give me a call back. Yeah. Paus Padula say it again. He does say it, but bottom line, the man lie. The man lie because the man, right there, the man right there when they're doing the thing. He right there. The man was on the stage right there on this. Let me see. Yeah, let me pull it back and see what he did. Yeah, look, the man clapping hand and doing like he doing stand-up push-up and all kind of thing there. Right there, the man the day. That is in River Sally when the statement is being made, the man come in and say he don't know about that. Wait, me, I don't know about that. So I've got a meeting and sleep. Yeah? You're a candidate. So where went and tell the people in the constituency? Yeah, Papa? What did you go and tell the people in the constituency? Yeah? The man stand up right there. I tell you, right there. That is he. Let me show you. Yeah. Let me make sure and show you. Yeah. The man right there. Thousands of people. When they say thousands, they had thousands of people. See the man stand up right there. When the statement was being, watchman. Watchman. Right there when the statement being made, man come in and talk about what is all about here? I forget. Hush your mouth. Coming on live for people. Hush. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah? Stop that. It is wrong. You were there. You were there when the statement was made. Let me hear what the statement was again. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, you move from there. Let me see if you can bring this.
Will start.
Yeah, the same meeting, the very same meeting. Yeah.
Months of forming the government. Within 12 months of forming the government, the National Democratic Congress will start a nationwide housing program. That program will be done in conjunction with the private sector, so we will have a public-private partnership. And we will commence building 500 Grenadian-style homes in each parish. And we will do so each year thereafter, so that our citizens of Grenada can live in affordable housing, not apartments, with their front yard or their backyard that they can improve in their own image, shape.
Yeah, just don't do them kind of thing. You mustn't do them kind of thing. Folks, before I run out of time, I'll try and stay a few minutes additional tonight. As I said, I don't have to go far, right? But I wanted to play something for you all tonight. I'm just looking to see where I put it. Oh, where I put this thing? Hey. Yeah, oh, here it is. Right, I wanted to play something for you all. Right, and let me just line it up properly, because I want to just play, because since last night and the announcement of the 4 new caretakers on behalf of the new National Party, there's been a lot of hullabaloo. I realize that many of the supporters of the NDC seem to be very unsure of themselves and are very concerned. I saw a number of statements. I thought they were saying that the South is a safe seat. All of a sudden, you see all kind of statements and all kind of messages being put out, even by MPs, praising each other and so on. I don't know why they're so concerned about Brother Toes. Are you afraid, Amanda, boy? I don't know why they're so concerned about Brother Toes, all of them putting out message. To me, it's like condolence messages they're sending out to Toes. Yeah? That's how I find it. It's to me like condolence messages they're sending out to the guy. But they're sending out all these messages and so on. But you know what? Let us remind them. Let us remind them of the quality of the individuals that the new National Party has selected to go forward on our behalf. Let's just give them a quick reminder. Yeah?
As caretaker of the constituency, my role is rooted in service and compassion. I chose this role because I believe that leadership means standing up for others, especially those who need it most. I want to be present in the lives of people, understanding their needs and working to address them. I want to ensure families have access to opportunities that will uplift them. I also chose this role because I care deeply about the future of our community. And I believe every child, every parent, every resident deserves a leader that would not only speak up, but show up.
Agriculture is the backbone of our economy and a vital part of our heritage. My passion for agriculture stems from my deep respect for the land and the farmers who work tirelessly to feed our nation. My grandfather, then my father, and now myself are among them. We must prioritize sustainable agricultural practices that protect our environment while increasing productivity. I believe in supporting our farmers through training, access to technology, and financial assistance, ensuring they can thrive in a competitive market. By revitalizing our agricultural sector, we can create more jobs, reduce our dependence on imports, and strengthen our food security.
Today, I may be the one in front of the cameras, but I'm bolstered by the strength of hundreds, if not thousands, of young Grenadians who are hungry for a renaissance of governance that uplifts and empowers its people. A politics not defined by cyberbullying or mob mentality, but by hope, respect, and action. I want to help return politics to the realm of respectable debate, where ideas, not insults, drive real progress for our citizens. We must move away from the crab in barrel politics and mentality and embrace a vision more like an ant colony, working together harmoniously toward common goals where everyone benefits, where the bread could break right.
As I begin this new chapter in service, I carry with me 3 principles that have shaped my life and will guide my leadership. First, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. This is not just a quote. True leadership is not rooted in privilege, but in purpose. It is not about demanding more from our nation, but giving more of ourselves to its progress. I believe in contribution over complaint and action over apathy. 2, never be bullied into silence. Never allow yourself to be made a victim. Accept no one's definition of your life. Define yourself. Too many have been told to shrink, to wait their turn, to stay in their place. But I stand here today as living proof that you can rise even when the world doubts you. We are not defined by where we come from, but by the fire we carry within. And I am here to say, we will no longer whisper in corners. We will speak with purpose, and we will lead with strength. 3, be the change you wish to see in the world. Change does not come from comfort. It comes from courage. It begins in our homes, in our communities, and in the decisions we make daily. I come from a family where giving back was a way of life. I saw my mother hosting cooking classes and Bible clubs, not for praise, but because she believed in uplifting others. And those small acts of service planted a seed in me, a seed that has grown into a lifelong commitment to servant leadership.
As caretaker of the constituency.
Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, I wanted you to hear from them again because it seems as though they have created a sort of earthquake within our country. And these people seem to have been woken from their slumber because the reality has finally begun to hit the supporters of the National Democratic Congress, that their days in office are numbered. And every time we have a sunrise and then a sunset, as we have had today, it means that we have one less day of them being in office. Yeah? Today, my friends, the reason to smile is one less day of this inept, incompetent government in office. Not one more day for them. Papayo is one less for them. And as long as we do the work that is necessary, in the way that is necessary, yeah, there will be no more days for them. There will be no more time for them in office to do more of the multi-million-dollar traveling, to do more of the shack up in apartment for tens of thousands of dollars a month, and no strategy or plan of how you are going to end that you have it basically be done indefinitely. My friend Devon always calls, they plead your cause on it and they want to attack him on it. What he is saying is correct. And it's a good thing all you can't frighten Devon too. No, boy, all you can't frighten Devon. All you can say all you want, all you can't frighten Devon. I'm sure on that. Yeah? They're talking about all kind of things. Why didn't talk about? Let me see.
Monday usually sees
and this one is from MTV. Yeah, we're playing some clips tonight. This one is from MTV News. Yeah, let's hear what they had to say about the seaweed thing. Yeah.
But this year, the eastern coastline, including the popular Marquee Beach, was overtaken by rotting sargassum seaweed, turning a holiday tradition into a disappointment for many. We have more in this report.
As families and friends gathered to celebrate Easter Monday across Grenada, several beaches along the island's eastern coast presented an unwelcome sight. Thick layers of sargassum seaweed blanketed the shoreline, emitting a strong odor that kept avid sea bathers at bay. Our news team visited the Marquee Beach on Monday to observe the scene firsthand, noting a significant drop in beachgoers opting for a dip in the sea. Instead, most people chose to engage in social activities away from the shoreline. Popular soca artist Kelly Topcat Christopher, who was among those visiting the area, expressed disappointment over the state of the beach.
On getting here, I'm on a tour with some kids, and on getting here, seeing the condition of the beach, one of the guys came straight up to me and he said, boy, I ain't think I could be here, and that kind of touched me a lot, and something else that really, crossed my mind is the cleanliness of the beach, Don't matter you have the sargassum, but then you still have a lot of other stuff like bottles and things that you can just put in a bin. I know our resources is what we have to offer to the people,
He added that Grenada's beaches remain a key draw for both locals and tourists and must be treated as a priority.
We as a people, we are our tourism, asset. We as a people. And what we have to offer is the beauty of the island. And we have to take care of it, and I think they should clean up the beach a little bit. We know the sargassum will still come, but at least for an occasion like today, a lot of people will be coming here, and I think it should be well kept.
NDC caretaker for the area, Senator David Andrew, who was present at the beach as part of ongoing preparations for an event, also spoke to our news team. He explained that the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority has been tasked with clearing the seaweed, but admitted that the job is no small feat.
Well, at the moment, the sargassum is being treated through solid waste management because it's an environmental issue and it's being harvested by them. Probably not as quickly as we'd want to see it because it comes up rapidly every day. But more importantly, I know the Ministry of Climate Resilience and the Environment, they have a plan. They have issued expressions of interest to persons who wanted to do the development, research into it, and the development of other secondary products from it.
With the sargassum threat now a seasonal reality, stakeholders are being urged to act swiftly, ensuring Grenada's beaches remain inviting for both residents and visitors alike. For MTV News, Troy Gill.
Easter Monday usually sees Grenada's...
Yeah, but as far as we know, Marquee is not supposed to be having any problem with seaweed hunting again because it's the NDC in office, because they said, they had the plans to deal with it. They knew everything that had to be done in relation to seaweed, isn't it? Yeah, they had the plan, man. They knew everything that was supposed to be done when it came to seaweed and all of these issues. Let me see.
Sargassum.
Yeah, let me hear. This was before election. Yeah, before election. Let me hear them before election.
since 2014 for you to not smell the stench that comes from the sargassum that the people of Subiz and Maki have to.
Oh, the people are where? Subiz and Maki? But that is what we was just watching. Use the Prime Minister now. We're doing.
In, day out. Where have you been to not know that the fishermen of Subiz and Maki have to walk through the sargassum every day?
Well, we just saw them walking through it, and that was this week. That was actually Easter Monday. Saw that video from MTV and Troy Gill from. So where he was outside the country in Dubai. He was asking where the MP for the area was. The MP was there working on the issue. Them same people was the ones saying, don't use tractor and take it up and don't do this and don't do that. But at least they were removing the sargassum from there. Right now, the sargassum making mattress. He making mattress. But this was what he had to say when he was in opposition and he wanted the job of Prime Minister. Now he had the job of Prime Minister. Where was he when the people was going through that on Monday in Dubai?
Of their boats with their fish. Where have you been to not know that the sargassum is damaging the engines of the boats? Where have you been to not know that the sargassum is creating skin rashes to our fishermen and the people who go on the beach and have to wade through the sargassum?
Yeah, and that was him back in 2022. Yeah, that was him back in 2022 when he wanted the job of Prime Minister. That was him back in 2022, man. That time he bad as he has when it comes to the issue of sargassum. Yeah.
An attempt to regulate that problem. Listen, in the earlies, they brought some heavy machinery on the beachfront, and any ABC environmentalist would have told you that that was not sound. So they started to take out all of the sand, and then the water started to come right up to the road. And then because that didn't work, nothing else was done.
Oh, but remember, this is the person, he's not the MP now, but he's talking about the same area where he was stand up and saying that is solid waste problem now. That is same Dave Andrew. Your bad mind.
Regulate that problem. Listen, in the earlies, they brought some heavy machinery on the beachfront, and any ABC environmentalist would have told you that that was not sound. So they started to take out all of the sand, and then the water started to come right up to the road. And then because that didn't work, nothing else was done. But hear me, an NDC administration will address that. In fact, we have already contacted a foreign company based out of Martinique that specializes in capturing the seaweed.
Hold on. That is not the man we see talking just now. I tell you, I don't finish in no 10 o'clock. JJ, good night, daddy baby. I'm not finishing now. We're dealing with him. He took bad mind and lie. And them so does want to call themselves Christian. They already contacted a company out of Martinique to capture the seaweed. So let me hear.
But hear me, an NDC administration will address that. In fact, we have already contacted a foreign company based out of Martinique that specializes in capturing the seaweed, the sargassum, collecting. Well, they could do it if they want. The people will benefit if they can get it done before elections. Yeah? So, capturing it and washing, but not only that, we're going to bring it ashore, and we are going to do research on it and make products with it. In other territories in the region, it's being done. Why can't we do it too? Let's take this apparent curse and see the opportunity in it with an NDC government. That will be done.
Although that's not the man we see just now. That can't be the man that we see just now talking there. No, that can't be. JJ, daddy baby, good night. I have to say good night to my son, Javon. He's watching. Good night, JJ. Daddy misbehaving. Yes, daddy will behave just now, but not right now. That's not the same man we was watching just now. They already, and this was before the election, he wasn't in the Senate or anything yet. This was before the election. He can't win the seat and he ain't going to win the seat. I'll let you try your best. But he ain't going to win the seat, right? People are Subiz and Maki. Anytime you see this man passing, Ask him where the Martinique and company to capture the seaweed that jamming up all your nose hole right now. Because he want to come and ask for all your vote. So anytime you see him, the Martinican company that he went and lied to all you and say that he had, ask him where the company that has the what? The nets and so to capture the seaweed. I like to imitate them bad, yeah. To capture the seaweed.
Right up to the road. And then because that didn't work, nothing else was done. But hear me, an NDC administration will address that. In fact, we have already contacted a foreign company based out of Martinique that specializes in capturing the seaweed. The sargassum is done.
In capturing?
But hear me, an NDC administration will address that. In fact, we have already contacted a foreign company based out of Martinique that specializes in capturing the seaweed, the sargassum, collecting. Well, they could do it if they want. The people will benefit if they get it done before elections. Yeah? So, capturing it and washing, but not only that, we're going to bring it ashore and we are going to do research on it and make products with it.
Well, it didn't wait for it to bring it ashore. It came ashore on its own because apparently Martinique may be moved and the company may be closed down. So all of a sudden, it moved. All your bad mind. Yeah? Your bad mind. You that Dave. Your bad mind. And the people of Soubise, the people of Telescope, the people of the town of Grenville, the people of Marquis, you all, anytime you see him, ask him where are the nets? Where is the company that is going to be coming from Martinique since 2022? I don't know if Martinique moved. Martinique, as far as I remember, was somewhere right off St. Lucia. So I don't know if Martinique moved and it gone somewhere up by Spain or it passed France. Maybe it gone and joined France or something. But all of a sudden, it is no longer close enough again for them to be able to find it because the story changed now. Now it's no company in Martinique. Now it's the Grenada Solid Waste Authority. Answer? Yeah, now it reached the Grenada Solid Waste Authority and is no longer Martinique again, isn't it? Huh? Yeah, it changed now. Yeah, story changed.
He explained that the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority has been tasked with clearing the seaweed, but admitted that...
Wait, so the Martinique company ain't come and catch the seaweed out there? It on the beach in Marquis? Oh my goodness. And the fishermen who the Prime Minister was talking about, they had to walk through the seaweed to get to the boat still? Oh my, I thought they had a company to deal with that out of Martinique. Anyway.
Small feet.
Well, at the moment, the sargassum is being treated with through solid waste management because it's an
Solid Waste Management is a Martinican company. The man said they already had contact with the Martinican company, you know. That was before the election. So Solid Waste Management is not a Martinican company. I must go there and try speaking French and see if they understand me.
And it's being harvested by them. Probably not as quickly as we'd want to see it because it comes up rapidly every day. But more importantly, I know the Ministry of Climate Resilience and the Environment, they have a plan. They have issued expressions of interest to persons who wanted to do the development, research into it. And
Oh, we're still talking about development and research. I thought you had all the plans before the election, Mr. Andrew. You feel you going up there and beat my political leader? Man, don't go and lose your deposit. You don't even bother to run. Let them send somebody else to take the licks. Don't go and take the licks on your own. No. Don't do that.
Secondary products from it.
With the sargassum threat now a seasonal reality, stakeholders are being urged to act swiftly, ensuring Grenada's beaches remain inviting for both residents and visitors alike.
Oh, so you all not digging up the beach and it coming straight up the water, not coming straight up and all kind of thing again? Yes, sir? Yeah. Everything changed now, isn't it? Yeah? Because you in office now, the story changed now. All you're too bad mind. That is all your problem, yeah? All you're too bad mind.
National Democratic Congress intends to tackle the sargassum problem that has plagued the east coast of Grenada for the last several years. It affects the town of Grenville. It affects most of the east coast. Starting.
Well, like you don't know that because you're never in the country, so you don't know it affecting it right now. Maybe you think the problem solved. You doesn't see it when you're passing in the plane, or you're in first class, you sit down either watching a movie or something already, okay.
As Malmont, last adjacent St. David, all the way up, it has become a living nightmare, frankly, for many of our coastal residents. It affects the beaches. It, no doubt, you have to live with the stench. The residents in Subi's, Marquis, and I think all the way into Grenville, you get that stench. Now, if you view life negatively, you will simply perhaps see the sargassum as a problem. But if you view life positively, we know that everything that has been placed on planet Earth is placed there by the Creator. And He gives us the wisdom to find creative ways to use whatever it is that is on
including stupid people, and that's what you was trying to do. But anyhow, go ahead.
Planet Earth. So we see the sargassum as an opportunity for us, in fact, to be able to use it to the benefit of Grenada. And so we intend, first of all, to capture the sargassum before it gets to shore. We intend to research, bring into Grenada nets that we can run along the coastline so that we can capture the sargassum before it gets to shore. We can then bring it ashore. We can then store it appropriately, conduct the necessary research on it, and use the findings from the research to create products that would be useful for us. And let me make it clear, there are already other islands within the OECS that has been exporting the sargassum to European countries. So we have an asset which is simply lying along our coastline, and we have not been utilizing it. We are satisfied that we have enough scientists, that we have enough researchers within Grenada, the OECS, and the wider Caribbean who will be able to help us address this problem. And so we do not intend to allow our citizens in Subi's, Marquis, Grenville, and the coastal areas of St. David and St. George's to simply have to continue to live with the stench of the sargassum.
Wait, just say you don't intend to? That was nearly 3 years ago. Yeah, that's nearly 3 years ago. Let me hear you.
The OECS and the wider Caribbean who will be able to help us address this problem. And so we do not intend to allow our citizens in Subi's, Marquis, Grenville, and the coastal areas of St. David and St. George's.
My good listeners in Subi's, Marquis, Grenville, Telescope, the coastal areas of St. David, and now even the people on the western side, Grand Mall, St. John, all the people, Bathway Beach, all the people. Yeah, there's the Prime Minister talking in 2022. Yeah, he wasn't Prime Minister yet.
Continue to live with the stench of the sargassum when it gets to shore and when the sun starts shining on it, which to a large extent.
But you wouldn't know, you never hear, so you ain't gonna know what's going on. You ain't gonna know that they're still getting the stench and that the sargassum even worse now than it was at different times in the past.
By the gases being released from the sargassum. So we intend to address this matter and address it in a way that will in fact create economic activities for St. Andrew and St. David. So we want to assure you that we will not simply allow this problem to go unchecked.
You wouldn't what? That seems to be exactly what is taking place right now, because all people gain is fumes and excuses. Fumes and excuses. That's all the people in Marquis and Subi's and so getting, and people in Grenville. Fumes and excuses.
Farmers in the past have to some extent begun using the sargassum as fertilizer. But in fact, there is very little support being provided.
Yeah, right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. We hear you. Don't worry, folks. Don't worry, I will reach. I will reach. Don't worry, I will reach. Nice, yeah. Yeah.
So let me start with the sargassum. It's plaguing the entire East Coast. It's probably already up to St. Patrick. So all of our beaches are affected, the entire coast, particularly places like Marquis, Subi's, the beach in Malmont. The sargassum is relentless. But where many people see problems, we see opportunities. And it's sad that Grenada is always the last place to recognize the opportunities. In places like St. Kitts, they're exporting the sargassum. They sent a container load, I think sometime last year, either to Finland or Sweden, one of these Scandinavian countries, so that they can do research on it.
So when we send a week container load, we could have sent about a whole container ship loading. When we send a week container load.
Sargassum. So we have scientists in Grenada. We have research personnel in Grenada. What we have to look at the sargassum is an opportunity. It's a resource that the good Lord has provided to us. And it is for us to take that resource and turn it into an asset. I understand that there are in some islands where they're already making things like jewelry and so on from the sargassum. So we, in the National Democratic Congress, intends to rigorously pursue research as to how we can turn this sargassum into an actual asset. Whether it's to export it, whether it's to turn it into other things, whether it's to help with composting and fertilizer, we intend to do so, right? Because there are serious opportunities there for us, but we just see it as something that is stinking and something that is rotting. So that is something that we intend to explore, but that is why you see science and research. That is why education is important.
Yeah, and that is why education is important. So people like you can't fool them. Yeah, because all people getting from NDC in Marquis and Subies and those areas, all they're getting from the NDC, fumes and promises. That is all they're getting from them. Fumes and promises. Yeah.
We have our bamboo here spreading and we just see it as a nuisance. It's the same point I made about the sargassum. We are a blessed land with an abundance of natural resources, but because we are not taking the time to educate and pursue research and development,
because we're too busy flying to Dubai.
What is a blessing, we see it as a curse. So I can say this to you. Part of being able to find solutions to the challenges we face is for us to be able to invest significantly in science, research, and development. And we must do that in order for us to be able to, even if it means sometimes importing the knowledge, by getting people to come in and train our students.
But you can't get people to come in because you're always out. And you ain't bringing nobody back with you that will be able to help with the issue.
Train our businessmen, train our entrepreneurs. That is the opportunities that are available to us to ensure. Because in a simple way, we could decide that we are growing bamboo on a commercial scale.
Yeah, we're growing bamboo on a commercial scale, like Fadu was talking about a while ago. But again, you know, because, I mean, yeah, look, this is, which area is this? Yeah, this Grand Mall. Let me see if I could pull up Grand Mall for you all to see. This is Grand Mall, I think either this week. Yeah, this is Grand Mall. Yeah, there's the Grand Mall, the seaweed. Yeah, it's on the West Coast too. Yeah, it's on the West Coast too, man. That is up Palmis area up there. Yeah, that look at Palmis up there too. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Prime Minister, if you was here, you might have known. But you're too busy globe-trotting. I don't know if you become a member of the Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah, if you're a basketball fan, you will know about them. Yeah, so I don't know if you become a member of the Harlem Globetrotters. But right now, you never did. Yeah? Yeah, that's the seaweed on the West Coast. So it's not only the East Coast have it, now the West Coast of the island has it as well. Yeah? So it was all nice and good when he was not the leader of the country. To lay the blame at the feet of the NNP. Everything was NNP about these things. Everything was NNP about these things. All of a sudden now you realize the narrative has changed. Folks, that's all the time we have for talking points tonight. Other things I could have played, but we're going to leave something for next week. Folks, that's all the time we have for talking points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. In everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. I feel I want to go out with a song like this tonight. Yeah. I wonder if that is the song I want to go out with. What is the song? Come, play nothing. I can song. Hey, I understand this thing. Come. Hey, just so my song refused to play tonight, you know. I don't understand that. Well, I've got to choose another song and play tonight. Right, let me see. I'll play another one tonight. I have a nice one. Folks, that's it for tonight. See you all on Monday, God's willing, with more talking points for you. My name is Sheldon Scott. Love each and every one of you. Kiame! I hope you're having a restful night tonight, girl. I am out.
some celebrating. Some wicked politics do they playing. But only mad people will do such thing. Cause the blind will see such an existing.